So we're going to keep working on turning your design into a web page. So last time I started and I had the head tag and the BG color and the background image, which if you recall looks like this so far, which is still very far away from how we want it to look. But we do have a table sort of in the center. It's not quite big enough, so probably needs to be maybe 800. Save that and refresh. A little too big. That's pretty close. So if we look really closely at my design, I've got this little band of gray along it, and so I actually have, which I didn't mention earlier, but I actually sort of have 3 columns, like 1 column, 2 column, 3 columns. So I'm going to nest several tables inside of each other to be able to create this using just base HTML. So we've got our table, we've got our row, and go ahead and just cut that because I'll use it later. So I'm going to actually do a little bit of formatting here so that way it looks a little bit more the way that I prefer. And so now I've got my 3 columns. And what I need to do is I need to have 1 column, 2 column, 3 column. And so I need to find out what the color of this is. And so I'll do that with Photoshop. Just grab my double click here, and that's the color I want. So I know that I want this to be BG color of that, and I need the hashtag. And then inside of here, to make sure that it's that spacing, which I think is probably, yes, 3 pixels, I can create a transparent GIF. And so this is what I used in the Mario video, if you've seen the results to that already. And to make it not real hard, I'm just going to do File, New, 1 pixel by 1 pixel, and I'm going to hide the background. And so, well, make a new layer, hide the background, there we go. So make the new layer, hide the background, and now it's transparent. If this is bigger, like let's say I do 1 inch by 1 inch, and I do this on a new layer, hide the background, so you see this little checkerboard, so that means it's transparent. So that's what we did on the other one. We just can't see the checkerboard because it's so small. So it looks like a white pixel, but it's not. It's see-through. So I'm going to do save for web. I'm going to use a GIF. I'm going to make sure the transparency is selected. Everything's fine. Go ahead and do save. And make sure that I'm putting this in the right spot. My images folder. I'm just do 1x1 transparent. So now I have a transparent GIF. And so now here I can do image src equals, and I have it in my images folder because remember it's not here with the index file, it is in here, and I can put 1x1 hyphen transparent .gif, and I'm going to make the width equal 3, and the height doesn't really matter that much. Maybe 100, just so that it has some height. And I want all of this to be both at the start and at the finish. we'll just put, oh, I just lost my lorem ipsum because I did copy paste. That's okay. We'll just put test there. I was going to paste it in the middle so you can see it, but too late. And so now you can see that I have these. Now this is way more than 3 across, but the reason is because there's no spacers in the middle. So we know the width is 700. If I put an image in here, just copy and paste this again. Let's put a comment in here. So that way I remember that this is where my content is. We'll put that below it, and we'll put that below it. Just kind of trying to space this out a little bit nicer. Zoom in a little bit. Now that I've already done a bunch, zoom in so you can see it better. So right, do a little comments. And we'll just do a line break here. So the width for this needs to be 700 minus 3 minus 3. So that's 696. And now if we open this, you can see the spacing is closer to the way that I wanted it, but I left that off, so it's not accurate because I messed up. But it already started trying to make it more the way that I wanted because I have extra stuff in there. Try this again. There we go. So this is more what I was expecting to see. And you can see, if I can find it. That's interesting. Is that a big image? That is a big image. Height equals 100. Width equals 696. Why did it do that? It was behaving weird because I forgot my equal sign, so it was making the height proportional. So now you can see it's more what I expected, whereas when I forgot that, it made it huge because it was keeping the 2 proportional. So I'll stick that equal sign in there. And now I have these borders on the side. So now I need to make a new table. I need the table that has all of these rows in it. And so in the previous video, I think I said probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So now we'll make that. So that's going to go inside of my table here. So I can go ahead and ignore that for right now. So I'm going to take the inside of this center area, and it's going to be colored this color. So I'll grab the code here, and BG color equals that. So now if we save it and reload it, you can see it's slowly building it. Now there's a little spacer here because I forgot to tell this border equals 0 and cell padding equals 0 and cell spacing equals 0, which is 0 all of those out. So now if we save it, refresh it, better. So inside of here, we need another table. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself another comment here. So We'll call it that. And remember, the white spacing doesn't matter. It's just to help me or you. And so the width on this table should be that 696, because that's a 700 minus 3 and minus 3 from each of those. So table width equals 696. And make a new table row. And we're just going to close it out. So there will be stuff in there, but I just want to make all my rows real fast, so that way I don't miss any. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Put a little gap between these just to make it easier to see what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oop, 1 too many, 7. There we go. Now this banner's going to go in the top one, so that's easy enough. And the name for that is all that. So I'm just going to press return on my keyboard to rename it. Make sure it's all selected, hit Command C, and hit Command V because I didn't feel like typing all of it. And then don't forget, it needs to be in its proper folder. So now if we save, and we go back to this, and we refresh, there you go, you can see that I'm slowly starting to build it. Now this is in a weird spot because of this. This is not inside of this table, and I didn't even actually close out my table. So I'm kind of lucky that it's being nice to me at all. So I'll close my table and I'll delete that test text. And now we have this. Now once again, you have these little gaps because I didn't make my border, cell padding, cell spacing. I didn't zero all those out. Now depending on which browser you're using and how modern it is, a lot of them zero out your border automatically unless you tell it to have one. But I still like to zero it out as well just in case. So there we go. So now we have that. So we'll do this next. And there's the color I want. So that will be this next row here. So we'll do another BG color. And this is where that transparent GIF goes to space that out the way that I want. I'm not sure how many pixels it is though. I mean, I know it's 696 across, but I don't know how many tall. So what I can do is I can zoom in to make sure that I'm only getting the pixels I want. I can switch these to pixels, my rulers, and now if I put my marquee across them, it will tell me. So this is 14 pixels you can see there. As you're using your marquee, it tells you in whatever measurement you have. So if I have inches, it will show me inches. If I have centimeters, it will show me that. If I have pixels, it will show me that. So 14 pixels. So that's the height that I want. So I'm going to use another image tag. So image src equals, and this is images slash 1x1 hyphen transparent dot gif, and the width was 696 and the height was 14. So we'll save it and we refresh it, and now you have the little bar there.